My fiancé said, "I already invited 150 people to our wedding. Figure out how to pay for it." I said, "I'll handle it." Then I rented a courthouse. The guests started calling her when they got the venue change notice. I, 32 male, thought I knew what I was getting into when I proposed to Vanessa, 29, 8 months ago. We'd been dating for 3 years, living together for 1. She worked in event planning, so I figured she'd want a nice wedding. What I didn't expect was the invoice. Let me back up. 3 weeks ago, I came home from work to find Vanessa at the dining table surrounded by fabric swatches, venue brochures, and what looked like a small novel of notes. "Babe, perfect timing. Sit down, we need to talk budget." I sat. She slid a spreadsheet across the table. My eyes went straight to the bottom line, $78,500. That's a lot. "It's actually reasonable for 150 guests," she said, not even looking up from her color samples. "The venue alone is $28,000, but it includes the ceremony space, reception hall, and their in-house catering." Wait, 150 guests? We talked about keeping it small, like 50 people max. She waved her hand dismissively. That was before I really thought about it. My parents have so many friends who'd be offended if they weren't invited. Plus my extended family, your family, our friends, my work colleagues. "Vanessa, we agreed on a budget of 15,000, maybe 20 if we stretched." "Well, things change. This is our wedding, Dean. One day to celebrate us. We can't cheap out." 78,000 isn't cheaping out. It's a down payment on a house." She finally looked at me. "My parents went into debt for my sister's wedding and it was beautiful. That's what you do for your daughter." "Your parents went into debt? Not you?" Obviously, I was 23. I tried a different angle. "Okay, but where are we getting this money? I've got maybe 12 grand saved specifically for the wedding. Do you have savings I don't know about?" "I mean, you make good money as an engineer. You'll figure it out." Those words, "you'll figure it out." Like I was some ATM machine with unlimited funds. Figure it out, how exactly? Take out a loan? Ask your parents? I don't know, Dean. That's your department. I'm handling the planning, you handle the paying. The audacity was stunning. "And you've already sent out save the dates?" Better than that. I sent formal invitations yesterday. They went out to all 150 people. The RSVP cards have our wedding website where they can select their meal choices. My stomach dropped. "You invited 150 people without confirming we could afford it?" "I confirmed the venue and the caterer. Everything's booked. Non-refundable deposits are already paid." "With what money?" "Your credit card. The one you gave me for wedding expenses. I put down the deposits. About 8,000 total so far." I'd given her that card thinking she'd use it for a dress, some decorations. Small stuff. Not to lock us into a wedding that cost more than my first car. "Vanessa, this is insane. We can't afford this." "Dean." She stood up, hands on her hips. "I already invited everyone. My family, your family, all our friends. You want me to tell them, sorry, my cheap fiancé won't pay for a proper wedding? How embarrassing would that be? More embarrassing than going into massive debt? Oh my God, you sound just like your mother. Be practical. Be smart with money. This is our wedding, one day. Can't you just, I don't know, work overtime? Get a bonus?" That's when it clicked. She didn't see me as a partner. She saw me as a wallet. "I need to think about this," I said. "There's nothing to think about. Wedding's in 4 months. Guests are invited. Figure it out." I went to bed that night staring at the ceiling. By morning I had a plan. Update 1. The next day I called the venue, asked about cancellation policies. The woman was sympathetic but firm. Deposits were non-refundable. Canceling now would forfeit the full 8 grand. Vanessa had already put down. Cool, expected that. Then I called the county courthouse, booked a ceremony room for the same date as the venue. Cost? $75. They had openings. Done. For the next 2 weeks, I played along. Vanessa showed me centerpiece options, $200 each for 15 tables. I nodded. She talked about the 7-tier cake, $300-400. I said nice. She picked out bridesmaid dresses in a color she called dusty rose. I called it pink. I stayed quiet. I also quietly contacted every single person on that guest list. Found their emails and phone numbers through social media, through Vanessa's planning documents she left lying around. 150 people. Sent them all the same message. "Hi. Wedding update. Due to unforeseen circumstances, we're moving the ceremony to the courthouse at address. Same date, same time, 2 p.m. Casual dress, no gifts necessary. Reception will be at Antonio's Pizza afterward. We're buying. Hope you can still make it. Hit send on all 150 emails and texts at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, exactly 2 weeks before the wedding. Then I turned off my phone and went to sleep. Woke up to Vanessa's screaming. "Dean, what did you do?" She was standing in the bedroom doorway, phone in hand, face red. "Morning," I said. "Do not morning me. My mother just called. She got a text about a courthouse wedding? What is happening?" "Changed venues. The other one was too expensive." You changed." She couldn't even form words. "You can't just change the venue. Everyone's invited to the banquet hall." "Yeah, I uninvited them from there and re-invited them to the courthouse. This is my wedding. Our wedding. And I'm not going into debt for one day." Her mother called again. Vanessa answered, putting it on speaker without asking. "Absolutely humiliating. All my friends got that text. Do you know how this makes us look?" Her mom, Patricia, was already in full meltdown mode. "Mom, I'm handling it. You need to send out a correction right now. Tell them it was a mistake, a hack, whatever." "It's Mrs. Chen," I started. "Don't you dare Mrs. Chen me. You've embarrassed this entire family." I took the phone. "Patricia, with respect, I'm not paying $78,000 for a party. Anyone who wants to celebrate with us can come to the courthouse. Anyone who wants an expensive show can skip it. My daughter deserves better than a courthouse. Your daughter deserves a husband who's not buried in wedding debt. This is happening." Vanessa snatched the phone back. She was crying now, angry tears. "Mom, I'll call you back." The second she hung up, she turned on me. "You sabotaged everything. I've been planning this for months. You planned it without asking if I could afford it. You voluntarily backed me into a financial corner and expected me to just, what? Drain my savings? Take out loans? Yes. That's what you do for someone you love. No, that's what you do when you've lost your mind. Love doesn't require bankruptcy." She grabbed her purse and left. Slammed the door so hard a picture fell off the wall. My phone was still off. When I finally turned it back on around noon, I had 63 messages and 19 missed calls. "Vanessa's sister, are you serious with this courthouse thing? Do you know how much money Mom and Dad already spent?" My brother, "Dude, courthouse is fine, but heads up, Vanessa's telling everyone you're financially abusing her." My mom, "Dean, call me, what's going on?" Several friends, "Hey man, we're confused about the venue change." And then, the best one, from Vanessa's cousin who I'd met exactly twice. "Real classy move. Guess Vanessa's marrying a broke loser. She deserves better." I responded only to my mom and my brother, told them the short version. Everyone else got silence. Antonio's Pizza, by the way? I called them, reserved their back room for the afternoon. Told them to prepare for maybe 30 people max. Being realistic about who'd actually show. Buffet style, pizza and salad, couple $100. Done. Vanessa didn't come home that night, or the next. Found out through my brother that she was staying with her parents, regrouping. Cool. Gave me time to think. Update 2. The entitlement levels went nuclear. Day 3 of radio silence from Vanessa. Her father Gregory showed up at my apartment. Didn't text, didn't call. Just knocked at 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. "We need to talk," he said when I opened the door. "Good morning to you too, Gregory." "Don't. My daughter is at home crying because you humiliated her in front of 150 people." I stepped aside to let him in. Wasn't thrilled about it, but figured we'd have it out eventually. "Want coffee?" I asked. "I want you to fix this mess." I poured myself coffee. He stood in my kitchen radiating disapproval. "Here's what's going to happen," Gregory said. "You're going to call everyone back. Tell them there was a miscommunication. The wedding is still at the banquet hall as originally planned." "No." "Excuse me?" I said no. "The courthouse wedding stands." "Dean, be reasonable. Patricia and I have already put down payments too. The florist, the photographer, the DJ, we're in for about $6,000 ourselves. That was your choice. Our choice to give our daughter a beautiful wedding. You clearly can't afford to contribute appropriately, so we stepped up. The least you can do is show up." "I am showing up. To the courthouse." His face turned red. "You're being selfish. This isn't about money, it's about respect. Respect for my daughter, for our family." "Gregory, With all due respect, Vanessa made financial commitments using my money without asking me. She put down $8,000 in deposits on venues I never agreed to. Then told me to figure out how to cover the remaining $70,000. That's not respect, that's entitlement. She's excited. She's in love. Girls dream about their wedding day their whole lives. Great, she can have that wedding, but I'm not funding it. So you'll just let her be humiliated? Everyone already knows about the courthouse. Her friends are talking, her colleagues are gossiping. You've made her a laughingstock. I sent a factual update about a venue change. If people want to gossip, that's on them. He stared at me like I'd grown a second head. Patricia warned me you were difficult. I told her no, Dean's a good guy, an engineer, stable. Clearly I was wrong. Sorry to disappoint. Last chance, Dean, fix this, or there's no wedding at all. Then I guess there's no wedding. He left. Didn't slam the door, which somehow felt more ominous. 2 hours later, Vanessa finally called. Dean, her voice was flat, exhausted. Hey, my dad said you won't budge. The courthouse wedding stands. Anyone who wants to come is welcome. Long silence. Then, I can't marry you at a courthouse. Do you understand that? I cannot show up in front of my family, my friends, everyone I've ever known, and get married at a courthouse like some teen pregnancy situation. It's a legal marriage either way. It's humiliating. You've turned our wedding into a joke. I've turned an expensive party into a reasonable celebration. Same thing, she was crying again. You don't get it. I've been planning this since I was 8 years old. The dress, the venue, the flowers, everything, and you're taking it away from me. I'm not taking anything. You can still have that wedding, just not with my money. You're my fiancée. Your money is supposed to be our money. We're not married yet, and even when we are, our money doesn't mean you get to spend it all without asking. I hate you right now, you know that? Yeah, I figured. She hung up. That evening, the real dirty trick started. Vanessa's maid of honor, a woman named Becca who I'd always found annoying, started posting on social media. Nothing that named me directly, but pointed enough. When someone shows you who they really are, believe them. Praying for my girl during this difficult time. Then Vanessa's sister posted a long story about financial abuse and controlling partners and red flags. Again, no names, but everyone knew. The comments were predictable. Lots of OMG, what happened, and stay strong, and you deserve better. My brother called. Dude, you seeing this? Yep. You gonna respond? Nope. They're making you look terrible. Let them. Anyone who matters knows the truth, but it got worse. Vanessa's mom, Patricia, called my mom. I only know because my mom called me immediately after, furious. Dean Richard Harrison, what is going on? Full name, never good. Hi, Mom. Patricia just called me in tears saying you're refusing to marry Vanessa and that you've been financially controlling her throughout the relationship. She said you monitor every dollar she spends. None of that is true. Then explain. I explained. All of it. The $78,000 budget I never agreed to, the non-refundable deposits made with my credit card, the figure-it-out attitude. Mom was quiet for a long moment. That's wow. Yeah. And they expected you to just pay for all of it? Apparently. Absolutely not. You did the right thing. I'll call Patricia back and set her straight. Mom, you don't have to. Oh, I'm going to. That woman has some nerve. I loved my mom, but the harassment didn't stop. Over the next few days, I got messages from random relatives of Vanessa's I'd never met. Her aunt called me a disgrace. Her grandmother sent a Facebook message about young people having no respect. One of her cousins messaged me asking if I was really that broke, because if so, maybe I shouldn't be getting married at all. I blocked them all. The weirdest part? Vanessa still hadn't officially called off the wedding. The courthouse date was in 10 days. She just went silent. No more calls, no more texts, like she was waiting for me to crack and apologize. I didn't crack. Instead, I called Antonio's and confirmed the reservation, called the courthouse and confirmed the ceremony slot. Then I sent one final message to all 150 people on the original guest list. Courthouse wedding still on for date at 2 p.m. Casual dress, reception at Antonio's after. Hope to see you there. That night, Vanessa's father left a voicemail. Didn't sound angry anymore. Sounded defeated. Dean, it's Gregory. Look, I think we all got a bit heated. Can we sit down and talk this through like adults? Maybe we can find a compromise. Call me back. I didn't call back. There was no compromise. It was courthouse or nothing. 7 days before the wedding, Vanessa finally texted, "I'm keeping the ring." That was it. No other explanation, just that. I replied, "Okay." Honestly, I didn't care about the ring. It was $2,000, sure, but at that point I just wanted this nightmare over. 3 days before the wedding, my brother asked, "So, is this actually happening? The courthouse wedding?" "Yeah, is Vanessa going to show up?" "No idea." "Dude." "I know." Update 3: wedding day arrived. I put on a decent suit, nothing fancy. Drove to the courthouse at 1:45 p.m. Parked and sat in my car for a minute, genuinely unsure if Vanessa would show, or if anyone would show. Walked inside. The ceremony room was small, simple, couple of wooden benches, a podium, an American flag in the corner. Very bureaucratic. Very not $78,000. And there were people, not 150 people. But people. My parents, my brother and his wife, 2 of my college roommates who I genuinely expected to skip, a handful of my coworkers who apparently thought the courthouse thing was hilarious and came for the story, maybe 15 people total. No Vanessa's family, no Vanessa's friends, no one from her side, and no Vanessa. At 2:05, the courthouse clerk came out looking apologetic. "Sir, we're scheduled for a 2 p.m. ceremony. Is the bride?" "Doesn't look like she's coming," I said. My mom grabbed my hand. "Dean, honey, I'm so sorry." "It's fine." It wasn't fine. Part of me had hoped she'd show. That maybe she'd realize the wedding wasn't about the venue or the price tag, it was about us. But nope. At 2:15, I officially canceled the ceremony slot. Apologized to everyone for wasting their time. They were all incredibly kind about it, which somehow made it worse. We still went to Antonio's. Ate pizza. My brother kept trying to crack jokes to lighten the mood. It helped a little. My phone buzzed around 3 p.m. "Vanessa, I can't believe you actually went through with it. You really showed up expecting me to marry you at a courthouse. Unbelievable." I didn't respond. Another text. "You humiliated me. I hope you realize that. I can never show my face around my family again." Then another. "I'm keeping the ring, and you're not getting the deposit money back. Consider it compensation for ruining my life." I blocked her number. Over the next few days, the full picture came together through mutual friends who were still talking to both of us. Vanessa had apparently told her family she was calling off the wedding because I was financially abusive and controlling. She played full victim. Her friends rallied around her. Her parents supported her. No one questioned her version of events. The banquet hall kept the deposit. So did the caterer, the florist, the photographer, the DJ. All non-refundable, all paid for with either my credit card or her parents' money. Total damage across everyone. Around $14,000 gone. Vanessa moved back in with her parents. Changed her relationship status to single. Posted a quote about knowing your worth. A few people reached out to me asking what actually happened. I gave them the short version. She planned a wedding I couldn't afford. I offered a courthouse alternative. She refused. Most people got it. Some still sided with her, believing her spin about financial abuse. I kept the apartment, obviously, since it was mine. Had to pay off that credit card she'd racked up, which sucked. $8,000 for deposits on a wedding that never happened. My brother asked if I regretted it. Calling the whole thing off, I mean, honestly? No. If she couldn't marry me at a courthouse, she didn't want to marry me. She wanted to marry a bank account. She wanted the Instagram perfect wedding more than she wanted the actual marriage. The relationship was dead the moment she said, "Figure it out." Like my financial stability was negotiable for her Pinterest board vision. Do I feel bad about the way it ended? Little bit. Showing up to an empty courthouse was brutal, not gonna lie. But staying in that relationship would have been worse. Death by 1,000 entitled demands. Last I heard through the grapevine, Vanessa's telling people she dodged a bullet, that I revealed my true colors before it was too late. Her friends comment heart emojis on her posts. Her mom's apparently still trash-talking me to anyone who'll listen. Whatever helps them sleep at night. Me? I'm doing okay. Not great, but okay. Paid off the credit card last month. Apartment's quiet. Started going to trivia nights on Thursdays with coworkers, which is actually pretty fun. Dating again eventually? Maybe. Not rushing it. Need to recalibrate my red flag detector first. Should have seen the entitlement earlier. Should have noticed how she always framed her wants as needs, how disagreement became, "You don't love me enough." Lesson learned. When someone shows you they value their fantasy over your financial future, believe them. When someone tells you to figure it out instead of figuring it out together, that's not a partner. That's a dependent with demands. The courthouse ceremony that never happened cost me $8,000, $2,000 for the ring, and a 3-year relationship. Could have been worse. Could have been $78,000 and a marriage to someone who saw me as an ATM. So yeah, that's the story. The wedding that wasn't. The venue change that ended everything. No regrets. Okay, maybe one regret. Should have kept the ring receipt.